Okay, so we're here with episode 5. The apartment is starting to feel somewhat like a person actually lives here. So last time I got some basic layout down. So from looking at the apartment we have here, we obviously have the wooden floor, the wall, we have the divider where the door starts a little bit down, like it's coming in from a hallway. And then last time we had put down the bathroom floor tiles. In this episode, I'm going to be focusing on the bathroom wall tiles, or at least the bathroom wall design, and then also maybe doing some furniture, or at least showcasing a design I did for a bed off camera, and maybe redesigning that, or at least inputting that in and then adding more furniture to it. So to jump right off to it, we have the bathroom wall. Um, the design that I was going to go with was something like this, just as the base coat on the wall. Something a little bit brighter because the bathrooms generally are. But I was trying to figure out what kind of a design to add to it. Um, Generally speaking, for it, I didn't want to mirror just the inlays from the bathroom floor. Um, but I'm gonna try it here maybe and see just just what way it looks, and then we can obviously work from there. So if I just take this and then we'll add in the different tiles, and then I'll see what way it looks, and we can always edit it or come back to it later. But again, I suppose at the start, what I'm focusing on is getting something visually to look at. I can always change any of this around at a later date. So even if we just did here, what was that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably easier to do this. Um, what is that? 16, 17. Okay, so we are at 20. We'll go to 37. Then we are down to 37, 54, and then let's split it again. Okay. It still looks very basic. Let me just see about adding more into it. I wonder if I add more of a divide. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I'm gonna actually do that around the tops as well. I'll do one to the left of it as well, and then maybe one to the right. Okay, I don't hate it. It's something. It looks a little bit meh. So what I'm gonna do is take that. Maybe we'll come up here a little bit. I'm just gonna add a little bit of detail to the top of these, just to clean it up a little bit. Maybe I'll do. What I'll do is I'll speed up this process, and then I will cut back once it's fully together. Okay, so I have that done. I added light and a bit of shadow to it just to make it pop a bit more, so it looks like the tiles are coming off the wall. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about it because it has that kind of 3D effect to it almost, but I might have to do the same for the tiles here just so they stand out a bit more, because otherwise the tiles from the wall are going to pop but nothing else is. So like the way I've done the door, there's a little bit of light and shadow to it a little bit, so the door kind of stands out from the wall, which is good. But I don't know how I feel about this, but I may come back to it. For now, I think I'm going to, yeah, what I'll do is I'll do the bathroom tile floor the same, or at least the same kind of style, and then I'll come back to it and see how I feel about it afterwards. Okay, I will speed through that as well, um, just so you guys are not sitting through the tedious process of it. Okay, so I did it for most of the tiles, and then I tried to copy and paste some down just to speed up the process. But to be honest, it's the difference is not that noticeable for me. So I'm just gonna leave it there, I think. Um, I come back to it maybe offline and just fix it up a bit. I might also change around the style because I don't know. It's something, but it's not kind of what I wanted to go for. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'll fix it up myself and come back to it maybe with a better design or something that just looks better. This doesn't really look like a bathroom floor and a bathroom wall, so for me that's just not good enough. Um, but I suppose what I'll show you guys today is I did design this offline, which is a bed. Um, So I'll just put that in here. Again, placement wise, I'm not really sure where to put it or where you guys would think would suit this best. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment for the bed. It has like a headboard, a pillow, kind of wrinkled, dirty, patched, worn. That's kind of the aesthetic I want for the room. I kind of want it all to look this dirty, if that's even the right way to say it. Like I want it to look tarnished, like the room itself looks lived in, and there's been no love or care given to it. So for the most part, the room as a whole is going to follow that entire um, kind of theme. What I do need to add to this is just some general stuff. So I think what I'll try and do is one, I suppose if you guys have any ideas or any input, it'd be great. But I suppose placement wise, if this is the bathroom here, I might even, if I'm being honest, um, I might even cut this again, just because it's very dark, or it's very big for a bathroom. So I might do this just to get rid of this much. Um, does that look right? Maybe. Maybe it needs to be at the bottom, away from the top a bit more. So even if it's, let's say like, I don't know. I'll come back to that and fix it up a bit more. Um, but yeah, I want to try and figure out where to put the furniture first of all. I feel like for the most part, what's a good color to show this? We can do it over Kaz's frame or I feel like for the most part, like this should be maybe like the kitchen area or like where the stuff is. But then I don't really want anything like kind of away from or towards the door. Because I want it to be like you'll come in to the apartment and then the stuff will be kind of laid out around it. So I need to figure that out a bit more, I guess, and put more thought into it. What kind of works best or what layout would kind of suit this a bit more. Um, but yeah, I think that would be a good idea. In terms of more furniture that I need to add like I said, a kitchen area or at least some functions of a kitchen. So maybe like a fridge, a sink, some presses or like places to put food, like a cupboard, counter space. I will probably put some posters on the wall just to try and give it more of that cyberpunk vibe. Maybe bring in some neon lights here and there. Um, but for now, I think I'm going to see what else I can come up with. Let me think. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I have made some other assets. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open those up and then place those in. So I'll open up those tabs and then I'll come right back. Okay, so the tree tiles that I'd kind of made previously, I suppose when I was practicing or trying to come up with ideas for it, were I had a carpet tile and then I had like newspaper covered with blood, which was when I was trying to do something gory. And then I had a fridge tile. So just to kind of walk you through those. This is the carpet tile that I came up with when I was working offline. I just wanted to kind of keep it, I suppose, uniform with how the uh, wooden floor looks. Because again, it's supposed to be a bad apartment. So something like that, where it kind of suits the room a little bit, kind of etches on that line of, oh, this is like cheap or worn. It's clearly not new. And then to add to that, I love the idea of having like blood splatters around the apartment to show that Kaz the mercenary has done jobs before this because he's an adult. So like this would have been his lived in apartment. So I want to kind of show that he doesn't really care about his surroundings and that a lot of the apartment itself is just being worn down and there's evidence of previous life being left here. So this is what I've done, which I suppose at a glance doesn't look all that good, and I'm fully okay with that. But what I did notice when I added that to the carpet itself is that it didn't look too bad. The newspaper is, I hate the newspaper part, and the blood itself is very cartoonish. But I suppose zoomed out, it doesn't look all that bad to me. Now, again, much like everything in this apartment, it's all a work in progress. So I will add more and more to it the more time I put to this. So it will kind of come into its own a little bit more as the apartment comes together. Um, but I'm kind of happy with that so far. And then the last thing that I'd added, because I did want to have like a kitchenette area or like a kitchen area, was that I wanted to have it so that maybe like this area here was like the kitchen area. I might block all this off if I'm being honest. Kind of like a hall here, and then yeah, let me just check that for a second. What I'll do is I'll move bathroom wall. Oops. If I just move that down a pinch. Let me see. Okay. How do I feel about that? Not too bad. Okay, we'll take that. And then we'll just cover this area up completely. There's probably a much better way of doing that, or this, but I'm still learning how to use the tools for Aseprite or Aseprite. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. But I suppose the more I use it, the better I'll get at it, or the quicker I'll get at doing stuff as well. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking so far. If I move the bathroom down here completely, I'm gonna bring the walls back up slightly, but just to kind of show that a weird shape to the apartment almost, kind of that trajectory, kind of like the this is in a hallway, maybe there's another room here somewhere, but I kind of like that so far. Sorry, I got sidetracked. So yeah, put that back. So I'll put the bed maybe over here. I'll just put Kaz on the bed for now. And then the fridge, this is what I have so far. I'm not crazy about it. One thing I'm trying to learn as I go through all of this is how to keep everything at the same angle almost. So for example, the top of this and then the top of other surfaces, trying to keep them all uniform, and then try and make sure that it all makes sense, I suppose, when you're looking at it from this angle, so that the whole game itself doesn't look warped when it comes to piecing the information together. But I think I'm okay with this so far. Let me just change one thing here. Just take that again, and then I'll clean it up a little bit here, and then I'm just gonna take this, and then we'll run that across the top. Does that make sense? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna fix the bathroom, but I'll get back to it. But yeah, that's kind of what we have so far. I know it's not much, but we have wall tiles, or at least the idea behind the wall tiles, which is like a different variation of the tile on the floor against the wall. I think it'll tie together a little bit better once I have furniture in here, just to show the divider maybe. Or I might try watching some videos on how to kind of piece it together a bit better maybe. I don't know too much about color theory. I'm just kind of picking colors that look or feel right. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have so far. We have the door, the walls, we have a fridge now, a carpet. There's a newspaper with blood covering it, or I suppose vice versa, blood with newspaper covering it with some blood splatters. And then we have a bed. In the next episode, I'm going to try and get back into showing how I make the assets rather than doing them off camera, just to give you guys that idea. But yeah, I don't hate it. It's still a work in progress, and I suppose the more I do this, the better I'll get at it. But that's what I have for now. So hopefully you guys stick around, and I'll continue to try and make this game. Yeah.